Alright, traders, a very good evening to you all. This is Avril from the Tradepsyche, and I welcome you all to the post market analysis, outlook, and expectations for the market for tomorrow. Uh, we'll discuss in this video how the markets can be tomorrow, what discussions we have had for the market on the weekly analysis video, and what discussion we had today morning in the Telegram group. All right, and we'll also look about crude, gold, and silver. That what price action is going in these commodities. Apart from that, we'll also analyze the OI data, the change in OI data for today, and try to form a bias that what bias do we have for tomorrow. All right. So let's start the discussion. And before starting the discussion, I'll be leaving the link to my Telegram group in the description box below. We are running 90% discounts for 1 month joiners, and the ones who want to try the market, try the Telegram group. You can have a look in each of every of our videos that what kind of discussions we have in our Telegram group. We are not a trade selling group. We are we are a group, we are a community wherein we impart the education of trading. We impart the skill of trading, right? We don't sell the trades. Yes, the trades might be an advantage to you, but we sell the views, we sell the knowledge, not the trades exactly, right? So if you are a new trader, if you are a swing intraday positional, whatever kind of trader you are, and if you want to experience, and if you want some guidance on trading, that what to buy, when to buy, how to buy, then you can check that group out. I'll be leaving the link in the description box below. All right, so let's straight we go over to our Telegram group, right? So today morning we mentioned that change in OI data, major high number of shorts have been added. Major resistance is at 23,200. Just listen to what we have discussed. Major resistance was at 25,200. So the moment today we breached 25,200 on the upside, it was a massive blast, right? uh, Major support was at 22,800. Total OI, we see more number of longs here than shorts. Data seems slightly bullish in total terms. Major support is at 23,000 and major resistance is at 23,300. Overall neutral stance. So today we shift our stance from, according to the change in OI data, we shift our stance from bearish to neutral. All right. Post that we discussed index futures. I think on Friday, FIs added one of the biggest shorts in, I think, in last 3 to 4 months, and that shows us the panic shorts addition which happened on Friday. So that's why probably you have seen kind of short covering today, but the main part today comes from here. So if you look, if you understand this data, right, if you see pros are aggressively bullish. Pros were aggressively bullish for today, right? And if you look at the index ports, the data for the clients, which were the retailers, they were aggressively bearish. Not aggressively bearish, but they were expecting a sell on rise markets, right? Why? Because clients had shorted 33,000 of index ports, and for that there were not many bearish positions. So client there were not many bullish positions, so client was overall bearish. FIs were also aggressively bearish, but FIs have a tendency now to make you, tricky, to make the markets tricky in a way wherein they post their data as something else, then they will do in the market something else, right? So reading this data, we mentioned that FIs, they're expecting purely sell on rise markets. Pros, they're expecting pure buy and dips markets, and clients, they're expecting sell on rise markets post the gap down open, right? So the conclusion we gave is, as retails are expecting sell on rise, FIs might take the markets up, and pros are also bullish. So expect a flat open. So we can expect a flat open and some short covering. So exactly that happened. We opened, I think, roughly around 30, 40, 20 points down only. We opened 35 points down on spot and 35 futures, 35 points up on the futures, right? Then we mentioned, I think, game plan for today. As we have seen a slight pullback on bullish side, this does not mean that we have come out for sell on rise. The first resistance is the red zone, which is the 23,600, 700 zone. We marked this in the morning. So above 23,500 only we can expect some short covering, sustainable short covering till 600, 700. Above 23,700 we can see 24,000. Below today's Friday's low, we can again see sell on rise moves, which is below 23,120, right? Now, if you remember the last, we'll discuss on the charts what we discussed, what we have discussed on in the last weekly analysis video, right? Last 1 hour OI change, more number of shorts have been added. Good support can be seen getting added near 23,000. Strict resistance is at 23,200. Now what we mentioned is, if we go to March 12th, from March 12th we have been anticipating that a small pullback can come, and we have been vocalizing for it from so many days. And even if you see, we mentioned this chart, Nifty range for coming weeks, 23,000, 24,500, right? Even I think on 12th March, again and again we have mentioned that roughly around 23,600, also we mentioned around 23,600, 500, 400, at all these levels we mentioned that we are not shorting the market, because the markets do not look ripe for shorting, right? And this is essentially, if you guys remember the last weekly analysis video, I'll leave the link on the top right section of this video. Do check that out, do listen it carefully, so that you will get your things validated, because that was the discussion for something which had not happened. Now it has happened. You can go and again watch it and verify it with that what we discussed, right? Then we mentioned here that traders here must be imagining why we are not shorting the markets. We mentioned that this message, we mentioned the reason that why we are not shorting the markets. We'll discuss that on the charts, but the main reason is already markets have fallen 2500, 2000 points. There's no point shorting the markets further. But yes, we will definitely add some shorts if a concrete level is broken down and sustained. Secondly, it is our plan as per the system. However the market goes on, we will not short. We will patiently wait for markets to give at least 700 to 1000 point pullback. Then we will short the market. Thirdly, we are very near to huge psychological level, 23,000, after falling from 26,000. Markets tend to trap players by breaking that level and giving a sharp pullback. Right? We'll go to the charts and we'll validate each and every point. These are the two scenarios which we have in our mind. And by the time I was typing these messages, Nifty shot up by 200 points. And then when I think around 23,200 exactly, when it broke out, I think we went till 23,500. So it was a massive short covering today on an intraday basis, of course. But yes, a short covering came, right? So I will once take you to the video wherein we discussed in the last weekly analysis video that what can happen in the markets. So this is my video wherein we were discussing that what can happen to you know uh, post the market, and we specifically we discussed that yes, the markets can give you a pullback. We anticipated a pullback, I think around 23,500 only. We fell more 500 points, because today, just imagine if we would have shorted at 23,500, today again we came at 23,500, right? Then we would have technically be in loss because the VIX decayed. So what would have been the point of shorting? It was a good decision to miss these 500 last points, right? Then we mentioned that yes, a pullback can come, but after a pullback, yes, if the markets try to make a negative price action, then we might again short the market. And this is something we discussed in Bank Nifty as well. I'll take you to the Bank Nifty analysis. We mentioned that around in the Bank Nifty is, if you see this price action, Bank Nifty is sitting, we discussed here that Bank Nifty is sitting at a good support level, and the support can come in the market. So if you go and if you'll have a look at the Bank Nifty's daily, so exactly today we have taken support from this level, which we discussed in the video, right? So this is the discussion we had. A complete flip of the data happened around 250 when we saw the breakout, and post that I think we posted some market ending comments. That was the thing which has happened today in the markets. All right, so let's start the discussion for tomorrow. We discussed in the last weekly analysis video that a support might come in the markets, because think from your logical perspective that already markets have given such a huge big move. The sellers who would have, the bears who would have entered at this point of time, they will definitely get exhausted at this point of time. And since it was a huge psychological support level, plus we have also covered the gap, so technically it is very normal for the markets to give a pullback and expect a pullback kind of like this or might be this, right? Now on early time frame, the moment today, I think let me go to 5 minutes time frame. The moment we close the candlestick, 5 minutes candlestick above 23,200, we short more than I think 300 points on the upside, right, traders? And the average closing is roughly around above 23,400. So I think from my perspective, the closing is also 50 points up, right? So I think the closing is good only, not a bullish closing. I'll not say a bullish closing, but yes, definitely a pause in the market, right? Now let's now what's next to discuss in the markets. Very easy analysis for tomorrow. The markets have given us the level. So now prior to day 2 days high is 23,500. 23,500 is also a psychological small psychological resistance level. So if tomorrow any early candlestick closes above 25,200, sorry 25,500, the first level which you will see is 23,630, because up till this point we have a gap to be filled. Above 23,650 you can take the markets till 23,750. But we have to remember what weekly analysis video we discussed, that 23,700 is the 50% retracement of this red weekly candlestick. So if at all we see any daily closing of 23,700, we have a high probability that we might do 24,000 and 24,300. This is what we discussed for the weekly perspective. But essentially on weekly perspective we also discussed that we have been following from 3 to 4 weeks. There might be a probability that the first half of the week we might go up and we retraced on the downside the second half, and we make a doji candlestick. We make another doji, then after 2 to 3 weeks of pause we will decide that we have to fall further or we have to go back up. But anyways, we have discussed that for coming 2 to 3 weeks the range which we are expecting from the markets is 24,500, 24,300, and from the bottom side 23,000, 22,900. And today, right on 5 minutes, very interesting thing happened. Markets went down, broke 23,000, and the way it fell, the way the markets fell, it totally seemed that yes, we are going for 22,750, but the 15 minutes candlestick did not sustain below 23,000. So it was a prime sign that somebody came here and bought huge quantity in the market. They didn't want the markets didn't want to close below 23,000. It grabbed the liquidity. The clients and the retailers thought that yes, the markets might go down. They came, they bought the puts, and by selling the puts, FIs absorbed the liquidity. Getting my point? So for tomorrow, the only bullish scenario I'm seeing is any sustaining above, early sustaining above 23,500 can take us to 650. Above 650, you can see 23,700 as touching as the level which the markets might be touching. Alright, but if at all a daily close comes above 700, I am saying that we have a high probability that we might hit 24,000 and 24,300. The bearish scenario, only and only go short if the markets tomorrow again break 23,000. Below 23,000, 22,500 and 22,000. That's it. Alright, let's go to 15 minutes time frame and let's discuss on the basis of opening that how we can trade the markets. On the basis of opening, simple, just remember that these two levels, 23,500 and 23,000. And on the smaller time frame, markets can also make a kind of a bottoming out price action, wherein this first rally might come till this point, the second rally will come, and then the markets might bottom out like this. So be careful in tomorrow's price action. Markets might trick you by taking the markets till 23,600, but again it will come back to 23,300, 200 and form a double bottom W pattern, right? As of now, since this green candlestick is a huge candlestick, this will be a very very good support for the market for tomorrow's session. So I'll mark this as with the green zone. So only short the market if this green zone is breached and sustained. The important part is breached and sustained. All right. Other than that, I think we don't need any more discussion for Bank Nifty, I think. But yeah, despite this, we will discuss that yes, markets have a probability to take a pause or take a short covering on the upside. Bearish scenario will only and only come if at all we break this green zone, maybe or maybe 23,000. But as I mentioned in the weekly analysis video also, I am not that much interested in shorting the markets as of now. If at all the markets have to be shorted big time, where will that short will come is the analysis which we discussed in our Telegram group. I'll discuss with you also, with my YouTube viewers. If you see, we have this trend line, and on the downside also, if you see, we have this trend line. So this is something which we were discussing for a long time, and this is a broadening pattern which we might see happening. So around roughly 25,000, I'll see the markets to short deeply for 21,000 and 20,000. So let the markets give you a pullback, and this is a broadening pattern. But one more pattern which I was personally interested was is this pattern. So you can claim a broadening pattern, you can claim a channel, but from each and every perspective, the markets are looking for a pullback till at least 24,300, or maybe at least till this breaking zone, which is 25,000. Then the markets might, do this, right? But this is something which we have to see from a larger perspective, because it is not something which might happen tomorrow, right? So I think everybody is now clear that how to trade the markets. If at all we are opening a big gap up tomorrow, I think the stance can be buy on dips, because there are too many shorts in the system. So wait for a slight pullback just after the gap up till either prior daily high or maybe a concrete psychological level, then try to go long. If the markets are opening big gap down, I think that markets will exhibit volatility, because again then we will be very much near to 23,000. Then if at all we are opening a big gap down, you have to wait and see that what level is breaking down on the downside. Is the markets Are the markets sustaining below 23,000? Then if yes, then go and short the market. Nifty Bank, same. No bullishness, as we discussed in weekly analysis video. No bullishness until we cross 55,000 on the upside. Above 55,000 you can target 55,500, 56,000, and above 56,000 you can target 57,000. Shorts will only come below 53,000. Below 53,000 it's a clear cut. 53,600, sorry, 500. It's a clear cut path till 52,000. So 1,500 points you can easily capture if at all tomorrow an early closes come below 53,600. That's for the bearish scenario. Alright, let's go to 15 minutes time frame and discuss on the basis of opening for Bank Nifty. Alright, one more important thing. So for Bank Nifty and Nifty both, this trend line is coming from the top, right? If at all the markets they try to breach this trend line, the Bank Nifty I think at least can go in band dips like this, right? But I would suggest to be on the safe side, to be on the sidelines, and only long the market or long the Bank Nifty when 55,000 is sustained on daily basis, right? And one very most important price action try to remember in the markets is, whenever you have seen a very good rally on either side and you are very much near to a psychological resistance or psychological support, if that support is being broken down, that is 80 to 90% is a percentage of fake move, and look for the closing of the candlesticks. If 15 or 30 minutes candlestick is closing, then yes, there are no buyers coming in the market. Markets can go more down. But if you see at this point, 23,000 below the 15 minutes candlestick even did not close. Early did not even close. We saw a very good pin bar here. Right? Getting my point? So Bank Nifty also we have discussed. Let's discuss the OI data, the change in. Okay, alright. Tomorrow will be Nifty 50's expiry also. So we'll discuss the option chain. For the option chain, the premiums are looking decent. I think IV is high. That's one point. IV is high. The premiums are also high. So markets are expecting a move tomorrow. But if these premiums roughly, if at all you consider this is a 300 to 80 point straddle premium, if this gets decayed to 120 100 point, then I think no move will come. Change in OI, today we have seen 3 CR addition of longs and only 1.5 CR addition of shorts. Of course this is not adjusted data. Adjusted data I will post in the Telegram group tomorrow morning or today evening. But yes, today bulls have got added today, right? So for OI change for Bank Nifty, in Bank Nifty surprisingly more calls have been added, but it's fine. I think there's only a slight smaller difference. It does not matter that much, right? Let's discuss crude. Crude is constantly falling from the top. Any move below, I think 8,900 can take the crude till 8,600, and below 8,600 it will be a bloodbath till 8,300 and 8,000. Gold has been in a bearish trajectory as we discussed. continuously the gold has been falling. A small pullback can come till I think 156, 157, but it will be a sell on rise mode. All right, let me go to silver and we'll also discuss silver. So basically gold and silver both are moving in the same trajectory. I think for silver also you can wait for a slight pullback and short like this, but longs will only and only come above if at all we start going above 260 to 70. All right, because this was a very good support in the market for silver. Silver broke it down, retested it, means more strengthened level for the resistance, right? All right, I hope the analysis is clear to you guys, and you trade the markets as per the expectation tomorrow. Stay safe in the market. Cheers, good evening.